In October 2017, I got a really good email, maybe the best email I ever got in my life, or at least the most exciting. It told me that I had passed the online test, and I was invited to go audition live for Jeopardy. I got to do that. I was very, very excited. Thank you. And sort of an email I've been waiting for 20 years. I love that show. Really, really enjoy it. And on an average day, if I have the time, I will watch the daily episode of Jeopardy on TV, and then, I'll spend 90 minutes a day looking up random crap on Wikipedia. That's how I have fun, all right? I got that email. I'm like, oh, we're obviously going to orient our entire lives around this now. And so I started going hardcore, like every day watching it. I would watch old episodes on YouTube. I bought a student atlas, like minimum 90 minutes map studies every day. UK Kings, Line of Succession. I'm like in the J archive, like a database of all the online Jeopardy episodes, just every single day, hours. Just and I started watching it like behind a music stand, standing up with a ballpoint pen in my hand to get the timing down. Like I'm like really into it. And to throw some numbers at you, every year Jeopardy says, yo, we're gonna have an online test, and about 300,000 people say, I would like to take that test, and Jeopardy allows about 70,000 of those people to take the test, and of those 70,000, 2,500 get invited to go audition live, and of those 2,500, about 400 people per year get to be on Jeopardy. The odds are not in your favor, but I'm like, whatever, all right? And backtrack, I'd taken the online test, and it's 50 questions, and it's just, you're watching them on a screen, a little box pops up, you type in your answer, it stays there for 8 seconds, and it goes away, and the next question. Out of those 50, I know from research online that you gotta get at least 35 out of the 50 to even make the cut. And I was scoring, as I go through, I've been doing this, I played high school bowl, college quiz bowl, lost my virginity at 21, I play trivia, all right? So I'm into it. And I think I only got a 37 on that test, which is not great, but just over the line. All right, fine, great. And then you go in for the live audition, and it's 3 parts. So the first part is like a 50-question test again, but this is a little bit different because it's recording of Alex Trebek, and he does the answers, and they give you a blank sheet with 50 answer spots on here, and you kind of have an advantage with this one because they don't get yanked away after each question. And if you're moving through these questions at the speed that an average Jeopardy person needs to be at, you're going to bank some time. Some of them you're just going to know immediately. Some of them you might not get immediately, but you can jot a little note down to yourself, and at the end of that, you get maybe a minute or so where you can go back and nail the answers. And I gotta say, I'll stand before you here with humility and say that on that 50-question test, I freaking murdered that. 47, just destroyed it. Yeah, feeling real strong. Whoo, yeah. Because 3 of them, all right, I didn't know them, that's life, I didn't know 3. But at the very end, with 17 seconds left to go, there were just 3 that were just at the tip of the tongue, it was edge of the mind. It was just basically, what's the capital of Croatia? What is the Civil War internment camp where war crimes were committed? And what is the element within your body that helps break down proteins? And I couldn't get it, and I couldn't get it, and I couldn't get it. And then with 17 seconds left, it was Zagreb, Andersonville, enzymes, hell yeah! Shit came from God, Feeling good, all right, nice. And then you go up, and the second part of the interview is a mock game. And they didn't even really care. These are just softball questions. There's no stakes, there's no Alex, there's no lights, there's no crowd. It's you and 20 other people in a hotel room, in whatever town you're in. And I was going there, and they don't care. They just want to know some basic stuff. Do you know how to play Jeopardy? Do you answer in the form of a question? Do you keep it moving? Do you have good energy? Do you look crazy on TV? Basic stuff like that. And I'm just whipping through them Emancipation Proclamation, Rosa Parks, just hitting it. It's John McCain was one of them. That was weird, but I got it. It was nice. And so cool, feeling good on that. And then the third part is just a little mock interview. They ask everybody the same question. What would you do if you won a bunch of money? And everybody's I'd fix up the house, pay off some debt, travel, help the grandkids. And I said that I wanted to reunite the cast of the 90s sitcom from Fox, Living Single, for my 40th birthday party. Yeah, and they reacted thusly. And at the end of it, I'm my own harshest critic. When I fail, I tell myself in detail how I failed and how maybe we can correct it in the future. I got out of that audition, I was Wes, how do you feel you did? And I do not think I could have conducted myself better. Let's continue to study as if we're gonna be on Jeopardy. And that's a big commitment, because they tell you nothing. They don't tell you your scores. You don't know. I only know, again, I'm keeping track. You get out of there and all right, everybody, thank you so much for coming. You should be proud you made it this far. If we get in touch, you'll be within the next 18 months, and that's it. You just go home and wait 18 months for a phone call that may never come, all right? And I'm just like, get out of there. I'm just like, do you know what pressure is? Like, my God, like, think about the scenarios of like going on Jeopardy, like what could happen? Like best case scenario, you go on, you win like 10, 15, 20 games, you become a minor national celebrity, you go on Fallon, you you get to retire and just like play trivia and write trivia books for the rest of your life. That's best case scenario. And I knew that probably wasn't gonna happen. But like worst case scenario is like I go on there and I don't have enough money to compete in Final Jeopardy and then I hang myself. Like, that was like just like the pressure was intense. Like I was watching a game from that season and I'm just like, the answer was Harriet Tubman at home and I said Sojourner Truth and I'm like, what if that happens, all right? What if I just go on national TV embarrassing my whole family getting Black history questions wrong? Like, just like that. It is insane, it's intense, all right? Just like, ugh. And like all this stuff is going through my head. So like I got to the point where like 4 or 5 hours a day, easily like studying, just like I got to the point where I wouldn't allow myself to go to bed if I didn't hit 5 Final Jeopardies in a row. Like you get one wrong, you better believe you're getting up and looking that whole article up on Wikipedia, like the whole thing, like, intense. I had Broadway trivia books, Bible trivia, the whole bit. It was crazy. And then one day I got an even better phone call, and then I got an email. And if you happen to watch Jeopardy this past July, you would see that I was a 3-time Jeopardy champion. I was very excited. Thank you guys very much.